I was telling the team like I might be a little neurodivergent because who breaks down? First of all, it's 2, 3 a.m. on the West Coast at the time that I'm waking up to get ready for the show. So who wakes up at 3 o'clock in the morning and starts breaking down hip hop songs from the South? Okay, but stay with me. I do. Okay, Omi Bell, I do. Um, the what I was telling them was, okay, the shoulder lean gave birth to the lean back. You know what I'm saying? Lean back. Right. So without the shoulder lean, I don't think we would have had lean back. Here we go. And then what I realized about Snappy Fingers is culturally rap came from this quote like gangsta place at first, like you had like New York and it was like, it was like all the folks in the hood and it was, whatever. But then also like let's keep it 100. You had some like quote some kind of like non-serious rap because MC at one point wasn't necessarily people spitting a whole verse over a track. MC was literally MCing. Like you was just like you was massive ceremony. Like you was like in massive ceremony didn't mean you was spitting a whole verse. You might have just been over the break beat and you were just, yeah, see how we right? Like you might have been saying stuff over the break beat, right? Evolves into now being rappers. Okay, rappers rhyming. So it was a gangster kind of thing. It was telling stories of the hood. But then the South comes out and they got a different kind of hood. Like they dance. We dance. So the Snappy Fingers was interesting because you had E40 and you had the dude from Youngbloods on the track. Now, and then you had Lil Jon. And in the song, E4, they're saying things like E40 says they got players and thugs doing it too, like Snappy Fingers, right? And then Dragon, the dude from Youngbloods, he also makes a statement in there about how thugs can do it too. Now, I'm sharing that because when we talk about culturally shifting something, so now you got these dudes that are traditionally like hardcore, don't supposed to have no feelings, had a hard life and they so whatever, whatever. You got them snapping their fingers. Like snapping their fingers and going side to side. So it was like, now how do we culturally do that? Right? You do that because you put the people who represent the thing inside of the container for the thing you want to shift to, and then you have them saying, "Hey, you can do it too. I'm just like you. I'm a thug. I'm hardcore. I'm whatever. I sold drugs. I whatever, whatever. And I also snap my fingers and rock with it, and you can do it too. And look at how and you can do it in a way that doesn't make you soft, or you can do it in a way that doesn't cause any judgment. You can do it in a way that brings you that is like it's cool for you to do this part. If we were to take a page from hip hop's book and what it means to culturally shift things, what would that look like? I wonder. Like if okay, so whatever it is that we're wanting to shift the culture to next, what does it look like to take a page? Because we always talk about like, well, we need to be looking at our ancestors, and we keep acting like we got to always pull back to the latest, the furthest away date in American history or in Black history in order to figure out how we do the next thing in the future. And it's like, I don't know. Honestly, the 2000s was a very, very, very influential time. And what I mean by 2000s, I'm talking about literally when the 2000s hit. I mean, we still in the 2000s if that's the case. But what I mean is like when the 2000s hit, like 2000 to like 2010, that whole decade, it has been super influential to the things that we do now. And I don't know that we always talk about it that way, or we always revere it in that way. We always want to, when it comes to protesting, when it comes to what it means to like shift culture, we always want to throw back to our ancestors. Okay, well, some people still alive, and some of these folks are still alive also shifted culture. I mean, it's so interesting that I'm saying this today on the day that it is Robert Johnson's birthday, because I mean, you look at BET, what BET was and what BET became, and then you look Black entertainment in the way that the network developed. People right now today are like, oh, so forget BET because they owned by white people. Let me tell y'all something. If that is your reason for throwing a middle finger up to a whole network dedicated to black people, I got questions. Now, I'm not saying that everything on the channel is what you want it to be, but where is anything on anything what you want it to be? Like, so you have it's massively employing black folks, massively keeping black creators in business, black artists, and for whatever we think about Tyler Perry, which we do have our opinion, everybody has their opinions about Tyler Perry. Um, he's doing his thing with it right now. Yeah, like he's doing his thing with it. But I mean, I also watched like creators that were on TikTok and Instagram, like Kev on stage. Like watching him develop his new show, Churchy, and it's funny, and you can watch it on the BET app. Yes, yes, they brought this element of reality TV to it. I get that, but highlighting Baldwin Hills, even though like some of it's a little ratchet, I get it in terms of like the way sometimes people act. But seeing different parts of Black life, I think was still important. So we think about culture shifting things. We think about culture altering things. There is nothing that we like 100% of. I don't know anybody that likes 100% of anything, to be honest, unless it's food. I haven't heard nobody talk about something that they like 100%. Like, especially when it has to do with like multiple people being in and out of it or having other people take over it or govern it. There's no 100% we like everything that anybody's doing. That's just not even human. So I think we got to be a little lenient to cultural development and think about where do we throw back to? Why we don't got to throw back to the 1950s to figure out how to solve today's problem. Don't get me wrong, we can. Speaking of that, Reverend Al Sharpton was on the Breakfast Club. Now, I'll be honest with y'all. This is a radical take. I don't always agree with him. I don't always agree with some of the things he says. I don't always agree with the way, again, going back to nothing's 100%. We ain't always in here rocking with 100% of anything. I don't always agree with everything he says, but he said something on the Breakfast Club that I'm like, okay, this is what I've been saying, and this makes 100% sense. That boycotts, he didn't use this language. I'm going to use this language. Boycotts are not just avoidance. That's not just what it is. Not, I'm just going to avoid this place. That's not a boycott. So hello, for all of y'all who are avoiding Target and Walmart right now, that is not a boycott. Sorry. It's not just I'm going to avoid. Like, a boycott has rules to it. A boycott has plans, demands, and you hold out until your plans or demands are met. A boycott is not meant to be a permanent, not necessarily, let me say, meant to be a permanent change in behavior, right? It is meant for you to get the thing that you're looking to get. My problem with the current boycotts is we ain't got nothing we want. Oh, we just gonna show y'all how the black dollar work. Okay, great, love that. But like that does okay. So they wait it out. Time dies down. Trump leaves office. We get another person in office, and now things are building back. Now we wait. Okay, we just go back. No, like we don't have any plans. And here's the thing that's so crazy about some of the things around the boycott. The idea that, oh, we need you to bring back DEI. Let me tell y'all, hear me, everybody on the sound of my voice, I want you to understand what is actually happening at these tables, okay? I go to the table, I come back and I say, hey y'all, this is what they doing over there. This is what I want y'all to understand. The DEI thing is a distraction. I know, I get it. Y'all gonna hate me for y'all ain't gonna like it. You ain't gonna like what I'm saying. It's a distraction. These companies are not, for the most part, I can't speak for every company. From what I'm seeing, these companies are not dialing back internally what they're doing. Now I know that there's some people saying, well, yes, they are, because these black folks got laid off, or this one girl said they kicked her out of Target. Like that, I don't know nothing. I don't know those stories at nuance, but I do know that I have responded to the DEI backlash by asking questions and pulling groups of people together to say, hey, how is this impacting you? And what I'm finding out is people like, well, It's not really that the company did anything to me, or it's not really that the corporation did anything, but people's reaction to the news is what's impacting me the most. The tariffs are what's impacting me the most. The shopping behavior, the economy is what's impacting me the most. And so the more this DEI conversation comes up, I'm telling you, in multiple rooms, multiple panels I've heard people speak, groups I brought together, I'm finding that the ban on DEI is actually not the thing that's impacting people. Not, I'm not gonna say anybody. I'm not, this is not me speaking in absolutes. Somebody's being impacted for sure. But what I mean is, so because all those people that got laid off that were in DEI roles as executives for sure are impacted, right? So I don't want to say nobody's being impacted. But what I'm saying is, what I'm noticing when I say, okay, oh my God, this ban on DEI is happening, it must be impacting small businesses. Come on, let's get together. Let's talk about that. How is this ban on DEI impacting y'all? And it's like, well, it ain't really the DEI thing. It ain't really DEI purely inside these companies. It's people changing their behaviors that's impacting us. Oh, okay. So the crazy part on the company's part was putting out announcements. I've also been at tables where they're like, we're not putting out an announcement because it doesn't make sense. I've been at tables where we're gonna keep staying the course. We don't need to announce it. We don't need to announce anything. We don't need to say anything. And that's the other part. Where did these companies getting off needing to say anything? You didn't. That was okay. Trump came out and said, "Oh, we banned DEI." That was in the federal government. If you use these words, yada yada yada. But that didn't mean you needed to say anything for these corporations. There was no requirement to do an announcement. And I think that's the thing that's kind of crazy. Okay, this person's rolling back DEI. That person's rolling back DEI. DEI. If they didn't say anything, nobody would freaking know what they're doing. Honestly, because what's happening is the news says they're rolling back DEI. I have a meeting with them. They're like, we stay in the course. Like we had to do that because we had to do that. That's one of them things behind the scenes where I'm like, well, why did you have to do that? I haven't talked to the comms people, so I don't know what type of pressures they felt or where the corporations are feeling, whatever, to say, oh, we got to go make an announcement. Shut the hell up. You ain't got to make no announcement. The announcement is actually what's killing you, not your work, because your work hasn't shifted. And I gotta pull back. Because it'd be one of these where like I gotta pull back because I might say something that I know that I'm not supposed to say. I might know something that and want to say something that I'm not actually supposed to be saying out loud to people because this is recorded. So anyway, for the record, a lot of these places that made the announcement are not actually rolling back. And something I heard that was really smart recently was some entities making a decision that if we pull out, we actually create a target on the people we were working with. So it doesn't make sense for us to pull out. It doesn't make sense for us to announce that we're pulling out. If we all stay in, if everybody stays engaged, if everybody stays in on your funding, if everybody stays the course with whatever you're doing with your staff, then nobody can really, then you're tight. You create a tight weave that nobody can actually penetrate. That's like, okay, well, yeah, thank you. We heard that you were banning DEI at the government level and the university level. Got that. We're not going to say anything. We're going to stay the course. We're not going to say we are. We're not going to say we're not. We're going to assure our employees that everything is fine. We're going to assure our grantees that everything is fine. We're going to share. So what's happening in philanthropy and so if you're out there and you're running a nonprofit or you're building a nonprofit, you're trying to build a nonprofit. So by the way, I have decided that I am going to launch into, somebody asked me to start a group of nonprofit leaders, and I am going to lean into that. So y'all stay tuned for more notes on that. I'm going to lean into coaching nonprofit leaders and working with nonprofits. But anyway, I'm saying that to say that philanthropy is shifting right now because of things that are happening in the on the investment front. So people are freezing just a little bit.